Thank you, Madam Chair. Sean Allen from Kentucky. I reserve the right to yield the remainder of my time to New York Collins.
That is in order.
Thank you. Unfortunately, I disagree with this proposal for a very important reason. My dad was a naval aviator, and I understand just the importance of having the different people being trained by different people. You can't have Air Force training naval aviators because they don't fly off of boats. If they did, there would be naval aviators. I strongly suggest that you guys reconsider supporting this proposal because you will get these people killed. They can't be trained. They won't be trained. There's a reason why they're instilled in this position. Why else would they have this job? Thank you. I'd like to yield the remainder of my time to New York Collins.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for these delegates. Nick Collins of New York. I'd like to keep this short and hopefully sweet. Like it's been said before, people are enlisted in specific branches. Even at the undergraduate level, they receive extremely specific training. It's not when they're enlisted in the aviation services of any branch, whether it's the Army, Navy, or Coast Guard overall. I understand the intent to create more efficiency. It's certainly very noble. But when it comes to our military, we cannot sacrifice precision and specificity in any way at all and compromise the integrity of each branch of our military. Also, I'd like to point out that it is actually more efficient to deploy one branch of the military that has aviation abilities than two, just to make sure that we have flight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Taylor Dazor, representing the state of Louisiana. I'm in strong proposition of this proposal because, I'll put it very succinctly, what if there was an qualified pilot flying over the country and he was suddenly caught in a turbulent or a jet wind? He loses control of his plane, and without his basic training, he did not know how to get out of it. He spirals out of control and crashes, landing into a city. I personally do not want to see such a disaster happen, and is why I'm in proposition of this proposal. I yield the remainder of my time to the chair.
Thank you.
Severin Beckwith, South Carolina. I urge you to vote aye on this proposal, and I would like to...
I'm sorry, Doug, that is not in order.
I urge you to vote aye on this proposal because there's a sense of fraternity in the different branches of our military, and these men are in these different branches because they chose to be. And if we put these men under basic training under the Air Force, then they will, and it's the same either way. It costs the same either way. The real expenses comes under the advanced training, so we're not really changing anything. We're just putting it under the Air Force, and so we're taking away from these men's sense of fraternity in their different branches, and this can hurt their motivation and reason to fight. And this may sound like a small thing, but when you're not really changing anything, small things matter. So I urge you to vote aye on this proposal.
Thank you, Doug.
Once again, I am Sarah Reynolds from the California delegation. I just want to make it clear that I do want people to be trained by other branches after they get their undergraduate military flight officer training. Yes, it's important to have greatly trained officers in our skies. It is. But when they can get this undergraduate training for less, let's do it. This will not cause a backlog in the system because the Air Force training system has been tested over and over again to be the most efficient, the most cost-effective, and the shortest amount of time to train these pilots. A comm speaker brought up boot camp. That really has nothing to do with this proposal. This is just undergraduate military flight officer training. I just want our pilots to be able to get off the ground before they can go to another branch of the military. I want them to be trained well, I want them to be trained efficiently, and I want them to be trained for the least amount of money possible. If we can have more pilots who know more, who have a better knowledge of their basic training, let's do it. Let's have more pilots to protect us. I urge you to pass this proposal. Thank you, and I yield my time to the chair.
Thank you, Delegate. We will now move on to period of voting on this proposal. Will the Rovers please seal the chambers? The motion before this General Assembly is that proposal number 135 does pass. All those in favor, please stand and say aye. Aye. Thank you. Please sit down. All those opposed, please stand and say nay. Nay. Please be seated. This proposal does